Okay, we're back. Um, the reason why I brought this diagram up was to show you that on this modal scales pattern stack, open capo scales, okay, there are no repeats. Whereas we would see the repeat on this one. All right, for some reason we had the repeat note. See that R and R there? We don't have that on that modal pattern stack. Okay, on that Lydian, we don't have that repeat note there. We don't have the repeat 2 on the Mixolydian. Let's see why. Let's see why. Mixolydian, when it gets to the 2 here, guess what? We're not going to hit the open string. That is why. To stick with this pattern, we're not going to go back for that open string. Okay, 4 goes to 7, 5, 6, 6 goes to 2. Alright, so where's 6? 6 goes to 2, and that's where our 2 is. We're not going to have that double 2. Now, why that is, it's not immediately apparent to me. We can compare the two charts. It'll take a second as soon as I get my brain out of first gear, right? Let's say on the Lydian with the duplicated root here. So let's just grab this chart, all right? Grab that particular Lydian there. I keep on losing my my diagram. Okay, now I'm going to throw that Lydian over up here, or place it. Okay, there's our Lydian right there. All right, and just to be on the safe side, we'll square it off so we know what we're talking about here. Okay, and then this is don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're not looking at that. We're looking at it over here. Okay. Now, in this Lydian, we start on the 4. Okay, and here's the 4 in the Lydian. 4, 5, 6, 7 R2. 4, 5, 6, 7 R2. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 6, 7 R. 6, 7 R. What is this R doing over here? Because this chart here actually covers this guy in addition. Whoop. Yeah, that happens. When I go diagonal, I'm trying to make a box that looks like a cross out. This one is covered in this chart. Both cases are covered in that. That's why there's a repeat in that pattern. So this pattern, starting from the Lydian 4th, you go 4, 5, 6, 7 R, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 R, 2, 3, 4. How many? Let's get our Lydian box out. Okay, we've got that's covering it up. I want to, like, if we could do maybe highlighter, but then highlighter we don't get the square box. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strings right there. All right, and on this one, the Lydian, starting on the 4, we have a 4 to start on here. We do, because we're not going to use the 3. Like I said, remember I said Lydian is kind of part of the Phrygian, kind of part of. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our fretboard there. All right, they're both unwarped. So you can see here that, I forget why we were doing that, but in here, the root up here in this, oh gosh, I made the wrong, I did the wrong thing here, and of course I can never find eraser. So we're going to start it from the 4 here and go up 2, 4, 6 right there. There's our Lydian scale here. Okay. Now there's no doubled root, but you start the Lydian here and you're going to be going, and remember it's like an F, it's like almost like an E shape thing. And then warp. There's the R. Now the R is actually right on top of that 4 when it warps. When this warps, the R will be on top of the 4. Alright, over here, another R might warp into the picture. Okay, indeed, that may be what happens. Because 2 will go over here, blank will go to where the 2 is, and then the R will be there. The warper brings another R into the picture, but that's not part of the pattern. So if you just want to play the pattern, I say go ahead and play it, you know. Now, it's important to know what you're doing in music, because it isn't always going to sound right. The Lydian scale, it has got a strange sound to it. Okay? It's got a strange sound to it. So you have to get the patterns right and know where you're at, so that and then you can get the sound better than that. All right, so that's the difference between playing the pattern and doing this whole thing up here, where we've got 2 patterns in one giant box. Now, the other thing I might mention about is that with the 3, 4, 5 here, and we're doing, say, a Lydian, or we could do a Phrygian from there, is a C shape. When that warps over, the R comes over here, and you've got R, 3, 5, R. That's your C-shaped chord. And so the Lydian lives in the C shape, and it's got an E shape. Okay, so that's why caged, isn't always necessarily just caged. It can be C, A, it can start, let's see, the 4th would have, the 3rd would have a small E shape, like an E minor in C, and then the 4th, you'd take a E major cage shape, just like the Ionian. The Ionian starting on root. That's with this particular pattern stack. This pattern stack, where you start the Ionian again, it shares the Ionian, same thing. It shares a box. Now let me do some erasing here. Okay, we'll erase this. And we'll send this guy on his way. I guess it's not going to let us get rid of this Lydian. The Ionian does the same thing, where it shares a box over here. All right, now we're going to take it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We've got to just move that over there. Just like that. I got some of my junk on there. Okay, just like that. You know how the windows want to pop back to where they were. So let's do that. Let's let the window be where it was.